is that?
9:59. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard the Vista Star. My name is Sam. I am going to be your tour guide today. So we're going around the harbor. If you happen to have any questions about anything that you see and want to know a little bit more about, feel free to ask me. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. I'll be trying to move up and down between first and second deck today. I may run up the top deck if that's where some of you guys are hanging out. But for the most part, I'll be on the inside levels. While we wait for the aerial lift bridge to go up in front of us, I'm going to run through a few safety announcements that we have on board. At this time, please do not run at any point while on board this vessel, especially if you are on the outside areas. Those outside areas, if they get wet, they can get very slippery, so please be careful of that. Bathrooms located on the stern or back section of the vessel. We have one on the first deck and one on the second deck. Smoking is prohibited on all three levels of this vessel at all times, and it is against both the United States and international law to throw anything overboard, so please refrain from doing so and use the garbages throughout the vessel. If at any point during the cruise or at the end of the cruise you think we deserve it, if we did a good enough job, you are more than welcome to tip us. You can hand the tips directly to myself or any of the other deckhands who are on board. We'll split out at the end of the day. You don't have to, but if you think we deserved it by the end of this, we thank you. Well, that being said, we can get started with our cruise. You can look in front of us, see the aerial lift bridge has gone up halfway to let us head out onto the lake. This bridge was built in 1905 originally, not as a lifting bridge. It was a gondola car system that ferried people and cars across for about 13 years. In 1928, they decided to update the bridge. They tore down the gondola car and built in the lifting span, completing its construction in 1929. In the last century or so, or almost a century now, the bridge has remained virtually unchanged and is approaching its 500,000 lifting mile mark. Standing 227 feet tall, this bridge will rise a maximum clearance height of 138 feet to allow large freighters to pass underneath it. However, as you can see, it's only gone up halfway for us as it didn't need to go up any higher. It takes 3 minutes for the bridge to rise to its full height, but it often goes up about 10 or 15 minutes before a freighter comes through. For safety reasons, those freighters, when they're coming through the entryway, most are going about 9 to 10 miles an hour. They need about a mile of open water in front of them to come to a complete stop, so the bridge goes up prematurely just to play it safe. The entryway that we're in right now is the Duluth entryway, man-made in the 1800s. It is one of 2 entrances to our harbor. The second entrance is the Superior entryway. If you look over to your right, you can see the lighthouse that marks that entrance, all the way down the other side of Minnesota Point, which is the world's longest freshwater sandbar. As we go through, you can see these people out here on either pier. The piers are open to the general public. It is free to go out and check it out. Most people hang out here for freighters. However, today there is no freighter coming through the entryway until later this evening at about 7:30 tonight. So right now we are the largest vessel that will be going through this channel. So definitely give the folks on either side of us a big old wave as they are enjoying watching us, or at least I hope they're enjoying watching us. Although you are not required to wave at these folks, we would just encourage it as a friendly greeting. If we were to force it, we would be doing what is referred to as peer pressure, and we do not condone that. while we are out here entering Lake Superior, keep in mind that we are encountering some waves today. Nothing to be concerned about, but the boat will rock up and down and maybe back and forth a little bit, so just be mindful of that. If you're choosing to stand up and walk around, best advice I can give is to go in the direction that your body is trying to take you. If you fight it, most likely you're going to have a lot more problems, and if you fall down, I reserve the right to laugh. No, I'm kidding. I won't laugh. I'll make sure you're doing okay. And then I'll laugh.